We did Bradley Beal, so let's start with Damian Lillard in Portland. Jay, is Damian Lillard real or not real? Stuck in NBA purgatory.
Yeah, that's real. I mean, that's a real thing. I mean, how many times have you heard media members try to place Dame on different contending teams? Like, even if that was in LA with LeBron James. But the reality is I respect Dame wholeheartedly when it's all said and done because he's staying with this franchise and he wants Rip City to be the city he puts on his back and get his team to a world championship. I respect that.
I think it's real because, Portland is one of those small market cities where people aren't looking to go there in free agency and sign on no matter how great of a player Dame Lillard is. They just, for whatever reason, and Portland's a great city. It's a cool Pacific Northwest town, but some people just don't want to be there. So, yes, he is stuck.
It's so far off the map. I think that's the biggest problem with people wanting to go there, but you'd love to play with a guy like that. It is amazing that all this time he's had the chance to go, and he's decided to stay. So he's choosing his fate. He did get them to a conference finals a couple of years ago, but they're in a rebuild right now.
All right, Russell Westbrook, real or not real? He's stuck in NBA purgatory with the Lakers.
Come on,
I can't call the Lakers purgatory. I can't when you have LeBron James, who is still playing at this level, at this stage of his career, knowing that when AD is healthy, I think the opportunity is there for LA. I can't call that purgatory.
Don't you think they're in purgatory with him?
Well, no, I don't think they're in purgatory at all because we saw a struggling Westbrook at times and them try to figure out how to utilize him. I don't know if they wind up keeping him, if that's going to be the same thing we see again this year. Remember, it was a new situation for him. So sometimes when you're in a new situation, it takes a minute to get adjusted, to understand your role. Now maybe with Darvin Ham coming in, it's a totally different situation.
And Han, you can't call LA purgatory. Come on, man.
No. I'm saying Russ, they're in purgatory with him because it's not a great fit, and they can't really move him. So one more year, they got to figure it out with him. But Key, come on, if they could, they would.
See them flip flops.
That's what I said. They're in purgatory with him.
Yeah.
So
no, and I love Westbrook. This ain't about him personally. It's just the fit. It's not a great fit.
Yeah.
I want to project.
Well, see, it wasn't a great fit. Do we know that now?
Personnel helps, man.
I'll
say that. Personnel helps.
We'll see.
I want to project out on the next one, like think forward, and I'm going to throw in a caveat. When Chris Paul retires, will Devin Booker be stuck in NBA purgatory? We already know they might be moving on from DeAndre Ayton. Jay, Devin Booker, when Chris Paul retires, real or not real, will be stuck in NBA purgatory.
I mean, for the CP3 is such an instrumental part of the team. I always say, yeah. I don't know. It is interesting, and I love everything that Phoenix has done. But when CP3 is no longer available, will Devin Booker be at that next stage of his career? I think last year, even though the year before he played extremely well, last year in the playoffs, I think was a disappointment. I think he would say that himself. But yes, I kind of feel that way.
No, I don't feel like he'll be stuck in purgatory because the team will now move to solely to him. Everything he will have learned from Chris Paul. And look, the Suns are one of those organizations, Han, who they're going to give you 3 or 4 years of a good run, then they're going to disappear for about 4 or 5, then they all of a sudden going to reshape the team again and give you 3 or 4 more good years of a run. And Phoenix is also a place that people will go to because of the weather, because of where it's at, all of those sort of things. So, no, I don't think so at all. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, there's a reason why that happens, Key. It's because ownership there generally will not spend. So when it comes time to paying people, they'll see guys go. I mean, that 7 seconds or less team broke up mainly because they didn't want to keep them together financially. DeAndre Ayton could be leaving this offseason. They're making it clear they don't think he's a max player. And you've got a couple of teams out there like the Detroit Pistons who think he might be. So if you lose him, it's a different look. If you lose him and Chris Paul, a way different look in time. So for Devin Booker, you have Monty Williams, so you've got to feel pretty good. You have James Jones running that organization as the front office, as the GM. You got to feel good about the structure, but it could be a bit of purgatory.
I like the structure, but I don't know if I like the top of the structure. I'm gonna throw that out there.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff going on with Robert Sarver.
Owner.
A lot of stuff going on there.
Yes,
So.
not spending is one of the issues with him, but not the only one.
Luka. Is Luka stuck in NBA purgatory in Dallas? Key, Jay first.
Losing Jalen Brunson, I mean, I get it. I still think there's work to do. I like the upside. And look, I'm a fan of Mark Cuban. I believe Mark Cuban can get this team there. But, man, it kind of feels like it might be trending in that direction. Doesn't it, Alan? A little bit?
I always trust Mark Cuban to find a way. He's an aggressive owner who wants to win, so there's always going to be something they try. But, yes, I would be worried about Luka, and I know people in Dallas are. I've talked to some people there that worry that if they can't find a talent that fits with him, that remember, he did sign his extension. He's got the max off of his extension.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean that he might say, you know what, it ain't working out here, and I love big markets.
I do love Dallas, so Key.
Yeah.
Kevin, you guys good?
It's a good take.
Yeah, I
Keith.
just said
Solid.
Jay said something. I said yeah.
Yep.
Okay, great. Kevin Durant. Is Kevin Durant with the Nets stuck in NBA purgatory?
Oh, boy, Jay.
Go ahead, Key. You start this one.
Oh, boy.
Well, I don't think so. Not at all, because it's Kevin damn Durant. And people are going to want to play with him. I just want him to sit tight. If Kyrie is on the move, I want him and Ben Simmons to sit tight. I want them to use those picks or whatever they need, whatever they're going to get for Kyrie. If Kyrie's gone, for him to do exactly what he went to Brooklyn to do, which is to bring them a championship with or without Kyrie Irving, because I want Kevin Durant to get his due, not bounce around and have people start to talk negative about him again like they did in Golden State.
Yeah, I feel the same
See
way.
it through, baby.
Yeah, I want
agree.
that for KD as well. But it does feel though that there needs to be more alignment between KD and the front office and Sean Marks, and if that is in place, Allen, then I would feel somewhat secure about, because I think the rest of the whole James Harden thing that we talked about earlier. I do firmly believe that. I think James Harden, when he got there, he thought it was one thing, and then he found out it was another.
Oh,
I think he thought it was KD running the show, and then he found out how influential Kyrie was, and how there was a lack of accountability that he felt Steve Nash had with Kyrie and KD and himself. So I think if he can show alignment between him and the front office, then I don't think it would be purgatory. But if he doesn't, I think it could be interesting.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I heard. Is Harden looked around saying, "This isn't what I came here for. I didn't come here for this." So he was frustrated by it, kind of looking at KD like, "I came here to play with you." But I'm with Key. I love what Key said there. No matter what happens,
Me too.
KD's got to put some roots in finally, and claim a team. This is my team. This is my franchise, and that no matter what happens, he's got to stick there. So whether you call it purgatory or not, it's got to be home for him.
All right, last one, guys. Joel Embiid. Is Joel Embiid stuck in NBA purgatory?
I don't think so if they're able to make this move to get PJ Tucker, but I will say this, though. I mean, out of all the superstars in the league, I mean, has anybody been let down more than Joel Embiid? I mean, from a player perspective to, a coaching perspective, the Ben Simmons thing, the Jimmy Butler thing, them choosing Ben
Kawhi
Simmons
shot.
over Kawhi shot. I mean, being cheated from the MVP multiple times. I kind of feel like, damn, he's been let down more so than any other NBA player there is right now.
Think
I
about
think
a
he
guy.
is stuck, though. I think he's stuck in purgatory.
Stuck?
I really do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. Even with PJ Tucker, because think about it this way. If, in fact, they don't go to the NBA Finals this year, guess what's going to happen? They're going to fire Doc.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to hire another guy. And now all of a sudden you're dealing with that whole deal again. And so at some point, the clock is going to start to tick. He's getting a little bit older. Can he stay healthy? Is he going to finish the deal, or is he going to play 60 games and not the rest? I mean, you're going to start to hear all of that sort of noise. So I think he is stuck, because I don't see them winning a championship in the next couple years. I just don't.
You know what I hope doesn't happen? I hope that he doesn't get stuck in injury purgatory.
Oh, don't say, yeah.
Like, I hope that doesn't happen, because even you're like, oh, he's finished the season healthy, and then he gets elbowed in Toronto, and you're like, oh.
Amazing.
And I could see you frowning, Pat Costello. So stop.
But I think with Embiid, it's a guy that finally got it, like figured it out, get myself in shape, take it to all the stuff that Shaq criticized him about, and you just want to now see it all come to fruition. Key, is there a NFL comp to Joel Embiid? Was it Matthew Stafford?
Oh, you mean like with an organization for so long and
Like
just,
been somewhere and it just got let down after let down?
Well, see, they were never good in Detroit, so it couldn't be Matthew Stafford. They were never good. Philadelphia's actually been good, and I'm just trying to think. You sprung. Well, Phillip Rivers was the guy that until he retired with the Chargers.
Heartbreaks, yeah.
God, I'm trying to think. That would have been that comp because again, Detroit was so bad as a team. They just were bad as a team. That would be the comp, I guess. I mean, I guess you could say Russell Wilson recently.
Yeah, but he won a Super Bowl, though. You know, you had that.
Yeah, he won
Derek
a Super
Carr?
Bowl, but
That might be a great
now.
comp just because
Yeah,
I mean,
Derek
all the
Carr
things have
would be a
happened in the
good
last
one.
year.
He's had injuries. And all the stuff that they've been
yeah,
through.
Derek
as an
Carr would be.
organization.
Yeah, Derek Carr would be the comp. Absolutely.
It's an interesting one, man. And we brought up Luka. It is something to go back on, I think, guys. So coming up, I think we should talk about how Trae Young got his Robin. Remember, they were traded for each other, right? At draft night. That was a famous trade. And what is Atlanta doing? Well, what is Atlanta doing? Landry Fields, a big trade he pulls off yesterday to give Trae his